Hey, we're going to be going over the top 10 best quarterbacks to use right now in Madden 24 as of June. I think it's June 8th today. The new season for Madden does come out next week. So we're going to do this before the brand new season comes out because pretty much all the cards that are coming out at this point, guys are getting like double, like 2 X factors that you could use as abilities. So let's go over it as it is right now because next time we do this, it's probably going to be completely different. And I'm basing these quarterbacks based off what release do they have in their AP stack and what abilities can they get with that AP stack, and etc. etc. Starting out our list at number 10, I'm going to put the golden ticket, Jordan Love. So out of everybody on this list, 8 out of the 10 guys have traditional 4 release, which you all know is pretty much the best release in Ultimate Team. Jordan Love has Slinger 1 release, which personally I'm not a big fan of. It's definitely, the release is just nowhere near as good as it was last year or any other time in like any other years before. Like before Madden, like before 23, like 22, 21, like it was like one of the best releases. Then 23, like it's like a pretty big step down. And then this year, in my opinion, I just really do not think it's a good release. Some people could probably use it, which is why I put him on here, because Jordan Love does get some pretty nice abilities. I put him on here just for you Slinger 1 guys. Besides that, I really had no plans on putting him on here. The abilities you can rock on him are Set Feet Lead for 1 AP, Threat Detector for 1 AP. You got Gunslinger for 0, Roaming Deadeye for 0, Backyard QB for 0, which is it's Hot Route Master, and I think it's a Playmaker as well. So like, you know, Master Tactician is that, but then you also get the Conductor with it. So it's still pretty good ability. Not as good as Master Tactician, but still really good. And he gets No Look Deadeye for 0. So basically what you can do is you can rock the Set Feet Lead for 1. With his release, you definitely have to use Gunslinger on him. Like traditional 4, like you do not have to use Gunslinger, which is very good. It's probably the only release in the game I will say you don't need to use Gunslinger on, traditional 4. But yeah, for this slot, I would go with the Gunslinger, and then for the next slot, you could go with the Backyard QB. So you're basically getting your Velocity ability, you're getting your High Route Master, and you're getting your Gunslinger, all for a total of 1 AP, which is not really bad. So if you want to throw something extra on, like a Gift Wrap, which I know there's been a lot of people talking about, oh, at this point in the game, you really don't need Gift Wrap, this, that, and this, that. I tried playing without Gift Wrap for, like, I think 2 games, and I dropped a couple high balls, literally, so I don't know. Me personally, I'm still using Gift Wrap, and I would still highly recommend it because I don't know. Maybe I just throw a lot of high balls, but I throw a lot of high balls, and I'm talking about wide open, like guys drop some passes, so I can't be having that. But so Jordan Love gets some pretty good AP overall. You're not gonna only ability you pretty much get, like throwing ability wise, you can't put on him is Fearless, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's only a big of a deal really when you use quarterbacks that have the paranoid trait because. Which I'm not gonna lie, actually, quarterbacks that even have that trait, there's really no saving them. Like even with Fearless, they will still get under pressure and accurate. Number 9, we got Trevor Lawrence from the Compass. Now, throughout this list, you are gonna see throughout this list, you're gonna see Jordan Love probably have a better AP stack than some of these guys. But the reason why I put him at 10 is because he has Slinger 1 release, which I personally don't think is that good. Number 9, we got Trevor Lawrence, who also actually gets a very good AP stack. But he has Gen 2 release. Now, the debate is Gen 2 better than Slinger 1? In my opinion, it is. Other people might say, oh, Slinger 1's better. Either way, these guys are 9 and 8 because their releases are not as good as anybody else going forward, which is one of the most important things when picking out your QB is the release. Everybody after Trevor Lawrence is a traditional 4 release, which is why I automatically already have all of them ahead of both of these guys. Now, personally, I have never experienced anyone using Trevor Lawrence against me, and I honestly didn't even know he had a card. Like, seriously, because I don't even really look at the Compass and stuff, but I didn't know he had a card. So I was like, okay, what's up with this card? And it turns out he actually gets like some like really good abilities. For this very last slot, you got Passy Delete for 2, Threat Detector for 1, or Gift Wrap for 0. So automatically that's pretty good. It's the same for the next slot. And then for the slot after that, you got Set Feet Lead for 0, High Route Master for 1, Gunslinger for 0, and Dashing Deadeye for 1. Now, for Trevor Lawrence, you're definitely going to want to put Gunslinger on him using Gen 2. Really using any release that's not traditional 4 without Gunslinger is just almost unusable. And for his slot after this, it is the same thing. So, in my opinion, I think the best way to rock Trevor Lawrence, I would probably go with Gift Wrap for the 0. For the next slot, I mean, you could go Threat Detector for 1, I guess, if you don't have a Threat Detector already out there. John Runyon gets it for 1, so, you know, he's an option. And then I would probably go with the Set Feet Lead for 0, and then I guess High Route Master for 1. I guess that's probably the best way to do it. Or I guess, honestly, maybe how about this? Gift Wrap for 0, Passy Delete for the 2, then you go Gunslinger for 0, and then High Route Master for 1. And you're only spending, that's a total of 3 AP right there, because you're only spending the 2 AP for the Pass Elite, and then the 1 AP for the High Route Master. So pretty good. Now he doesn't get like Master Tactician, he doesn't get the Backyard QB. It's just the generic High Route Master, because a lot of guys you're going to see going forward on the list, they get, honestly, almost all of them get Master Tactician, which is so much better than the normal High Route Master, just because it's 3 abilities into 1. Number 8, I'm going to go with Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson, I think, is still a very, very usable card. Traditional 4 release. I'm not even going to go over the releases for any of the cards coming up, because they're all traditional 4. Now, I know a lot of people, when they use this card, they did have a problem with throw under pressure, but there's a strategy card. I know there's a +4 strategy card that gives you +4 throw under pressure. I don't know if there's a gold one that gives you +5. But we're also at a point in this game to where you don't really need, you know how you have those gray strat cards that give you like +1 zone and all that stuff. Everybody has 99 zone at this point. So if you wanted to just put all your strat cards and try to just boost his throw under pressure, you could definitely do that. Like, honestly, if you used all your strategy card slots, like just got the best possible throw under pressure plus as you can, you could probably get up to 95. So I thought I'd just throw that out there, because I know people had problems with his throw under pressure. So automatically, for his X Factor, he does get the NFL Combine Truz, which I'm not also going to talk about these guys like X Factor. Some of these guys get the built-in ability X Factors. We'll talk about that. But for the guys that get like X Factors that start on and stuff, we're not going to talk about these as much, because now that Aiden Hutchinson's in the game and pretty much everyone's going to run him and he has momentum shift all game, these X Factors don't really mean anything, because you're really not going to probably see them ever. We're not going to talk about these guys' X Factors. We're just literally going to talk about their abilities. So Bo actually still, surprisingly, doesn't get bad AEP to this day. He gets Seth Elite for 2, Hot Route Master for 1, and Gunslinger for 0. For the next slide, it's the same thing, except it's the human joystick swapped out with the Gunslinger. And also for all these quarterbacks coming up, you don't need to use Gunslinger on any of them, because they have traditional 4 release, which does not need Gunslinger. So you can save an AP slot and not even have to use Gunslinger. So for Bo, you could put Sephi Lead on for 2 and High Route Master on for 1, and that's already 3 AP right there. And if you want to throw on your extra gift wrap or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. So he still gets a pretty, it's not a whole lot of abilities, but he gets what you need for very cheap. And, he's got the speed, he's got a good release. So for 7, we got a new card that came out, Golden Ticket, William Perry, the Fridge, quarterback. His AP stack isn't very bad, but the thing that's just so nasty about him is he's 6'2", 335. He's a big body. He's going to be extremely hard to tackle. I mean, if you remember his Zero Chill card, just seeing this guy run around, man, it's just going to be a problem. But for the discounts he gets Pass Elite for 1, Fearless for 1, and then the next 2 you got Gunslinger 0, Tank 0, Human Joystick 0, and Escape Artist 0. Escape Artist doesn't really do absolutely anything, so that's pretty wasteful right there in my opinion. The best way to probably run him is Pass Elite for the 1. And then for his next 2 slots, I would probably go with Tank and then Human Joystick, which, because there's really you don't need a Gunslinger traditional 4, you just really don't. So you might as well go with his running abilities. You're going to have to pay 3 AP for High Route Master, because he does not get it discounted. So you're looking at spending a minimum of 4 AP on him, and then if you want gift wrap, that's 5. So he's a little bit more costly on the AP side, but you can see he's such a big guy. And if you're getting Fridge, you're also probably looking to run with your quarterback. Like, if you're not ever going to run with your quarterback, then there's really no point in getting the Fridge, honestly. Number 6, we got Chad Powers. This card is still very good. And another reason why I have him, kind of close to that top 5 is he does get all team chems, which is, that's a plus, because for teams that don't have a very good quarterback, you could just go to Chad Powers. And I know Johnny Manziel is an option as well, but spoiler alert, I don't have him on this list, because if it's between Manziel and Chad Powers, I'm taking Chad Powers. 1, because of his release, and 2, I think he gets better abilities overall in my opinion. So we're kind of going to go over these. He comes built in with Tank for 0, which is pretty good for a QB. I definitely, when guys are trying to hit stick you and get crazy. He also gets Gunslinger for 0, Evasive for 0, Truz for 1, and Pass Elite for 1. Any quarterback that can get Truz as an ability is going to be rated very high, because this means your quarterback cannot fumble unless he pretty much gets stripped, which is, a pretty low chance of that happening. So you can get pretty crazy with your, well, I guess I can't say a pretty low chance, but the chances of you fumbling with Truz are very, very low. These discounts he gets is basically what he gets for his next 2 slots as well. So I would probably go with the Pass Elite for 1, the Truz for 1, and then the Evasive for 0, and then you could just go ahead and throw on Hot Route Master for the 3. So you're spending about 5 AP on Chad Powers, but it's definitely a well spent 5 AP, and also he gets all team chems, and he's also pretty big guy, 6'5", 218, so he's gonna be pretty hard to tackle. Now I know he also gets the angry runs X factor, if I'm not mistaken, which is 1 AP, which behind the line will actually help him break sacks and stuff. But my thing with this is, man, you're spending 1 AP on it, and Hutchinson is going, you're mostly going to go against Ada Hutchinson, so you're never really going to see this X Factor. So that's kind of why we're not even talking about these X Factors right now. We are officially in the top 5. In my opinion, these are the 5 best quarterbacks in the game right now. And starting it out, we're going to go with Michael Vick. Now, I know a lot of people, they're not really a big fan of the left-hand quarterbacks. I've used Michael Vick so much in Madden that I'm usually pretty adjusted to it. And the main reason why is because people just aren't really used to rolling out to the left when most QBs are right-handed, so it's just something you kind of got to get used to. And there also is a little bit of a hitch rolling out with a left-hand quarterback compared to a right-hand quarterback, but once you've used them long enough, you can kind of get used to it, right? And obviously, Michael Vick's stats are amazing. He's my quarterback on my team right now. He gets very good abilities as well. Obviously, that's why he's in this top 5. He comes built in with that 0 AP evasive, and then he gets a whole bunch of discounts. You got Ceph Elite for 1, Fearless 1, Gunslinger 0, Roaming Deadeye 0, Pass Elite 2, and Master Tactician for 1. And that all those abilities are pretty much rolled out to all these slots in just different ways, but all these abilities you can put on. The cheapest way, in my opinion, to run him is Ceph Elite 1, Master Tactician for 1, and then you can really choose what you want to put on next. If you want to put on Fearless for 1, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to just say, you know what, let me just swap out the Ceph Elite with the Pass Elite for 2, you could do that. How I actually run him is I run Ceph Elite for 1, Master Tactician for 1, and I also use the Fearless for 1, and all that right there is 3 AP. So he gets a lot. He gets very, very good AP. He's fast. You're going to be able to make things happen with him. He's got a great release. I'm not just saying all this because I'm a big Mike Vick fan and he's on my team. He's a good quarterback. Number 4, we're going with Action Jackson. Lamar Jackson. You can kind of say he's the right-handed version of Michael Vick, but I would go a little bit farther to say he has better AP than Michael Vick, and it's really because he gets one ability in particular. He also gets evasive built in, just like Michael Vick. For his abilities, you got Pass Elite for 2, Truz for 1, and Master Tactician for 1. What did I tell you guys? Any guy that can get Truz built into him, it's just major, man. For his next ability slots, it's pretty much the same thing, except he just doesn't have the Truz in there for the other slots. So the best way to probably go is you go with the Truz for 1, Pass Elite for 2, and then a Master Tactician for 1. So you're spending about 4 AP on him, which isn't really bad because you're getting your velocity, you're getting all your out routes, you're getting conductor, you're getting playmaker, and you're getting the ability to not have to fumble. So it's very similar AP to Michael Vick, except Michael Vick does get Trust, but it's an X factor, which, you know, now with Hutchinson, you know, you're not really going to get that thing. So at least with Lamar, you're always going to get that thing. So their AP is really similar, but Lamar's right-handed, so it's easier to move around and roll around with him, and you're not going to have to worry about fumbling with Lamar. Number 3, we got Andrew Luck. The quarterbacks you're mostly going to see in Madden when you play this thing, Tom Brady and Andrew Luck, are probably the 2 guys that you see the most. At least that's for me. That's who I see for the most. And there's definitely a reason why for Andrew Luck. He's got some mobility and his discounts are great. I mean, he comes built in with the Ceph Elite for 0. I mean, come on, that's just straight up nasty. You got Fearless for 1, Gunslinger 0, Roaming Deadeye 0, and Master Tactician for 1, and he gets that for his next 2 slots. So you got the Ceph Elite on for 0. You go Master Tactician for 1, and then in my opinion, I would actually go with the Fearless for 1. So you're really only spending about 2 AP minimum. If you want to throw extra stuff on, you can. Very, very cheap AP with him, and I mean, like I said, there's a reason why you see him in head-to-head a lot. Number 2, I think this is the newest card on this list. We got Robert Griffin III, RG3. Now, you obviously already know who number 1 is, but this card has just recently came out. He's a lot of coins, and there is a really, really good reason why. He is extremely nice AP, man. You got Master Tactician or Evasive for 1. Obviously, you're going Master Tactician for that slot. And then for the next 2, you got Ceph Elite 0. All these are 0. Roaming Deadeye, Fearless, and Truz. What did we say about Truz? So for those next 2 slots, you're going with the Ceph Elite and the Truz. The Master Tactician for 1. You're only spending about 1 AP minimum on RG3. And you don't got to worry about fumbling. And he's got the best release in the game. And if you remember his Campus Hero card, you know, it played very well. So you know this card is going to play very good too. Number 1 is going to be Tom Brady. I mean, he gets every single ability in the game for literally 0 AP. And I mean every ability in the game. You already know this. He comes built in with Fearless. Everything is like, even these abilities are 0. Everything is like, he could put any ability you want on him in the entire game for 0 AP. It's probably the greatest thing ever that we've ever seen. Well, except for Threat Detector. I didn't know that. So Threat Detector is actually 2 AP on him. That's random. And it's weird, but at the same time, there's John Running gets for 1 if you want that so bad. So yeah. Everything else is 0. You can put whatever you want on him. He gets everything. This is the quarterback. I said you see Andrew Luck a lot. This is the quarterback you will most likely see every single game. He's probably one of the greatest quarterback cards they've ever dropped. You guys let me know down in the comments if there's any quarterbacks that you think were left off this list, or the guys that you think were really overrated that are on this list. Like I said, I didn't put Johnny Manziel on here because, one, we already discussed, I'm not a big fan of the Slinger 1 release, and it was kind of between him and Chad Paris since they both got all team chems, and I personally think Chad Paris is a lot better. Now, I know Chad Paris is a little bit more, but at this point, Chad Paris isn't really like a whole lot. Last time I checked his price, he was like $750,000. So, I mean, I think in this economy where Madden's at, I think at this point in the game, that's pretty affordable if you want to get a nice quarterback. Like I said, I'm using Mike Vick for my Eagles theme team. Only thing I don't like is the sway. We didn't really even talk about it, but his stupid animations where he's running and he slides down, and then, you know, he does the spin behind the line. We didn't really talk about that because we're kind of just talking about most of these guys from an actual QB standpoint, but I mean, I like Mike Vick, so let me know if there's anyone you guys think should have been on here. Let me know who you guys are using at QB right now. Maybe someone's using Big Ben out there. You know what I mean? He gets a lot of abilities, right? So that's pretty much all I got for you guys today, man. If you enjoyed the video, man, drop a like. Until the next time, man, I'll see y'all on the next one.